What if I told you that one of America's biggest cities is spending nearly $2 billion of public money to build luxury apartments, high-end hotels, and retail shops, right in the middle of a housing crisis? That's exactly what's happening in downtown Atlanta with a project called Centennial Yards. On the surface, it's being sold as a bold fix to decades of urban decay, a sleek new district that promises to stitch the city back together. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find a far more complicated story. This isn't just about new buildings. It's about power, money, broken promises, and the question every city faces. Who is all this really for? This video will take you beyond the headlines and glossy renderings. We'll uncover what the city gave up in exchange for this grand transformation. We'll look at how developers used legal loopholes to dodge affordable housing obligations. And we'll ask the one question no one seems brave enough to answer. Is this a smart investment in Atlanta's future, or just another flashy deal that leaves real residents behind? Centennial Yards could redefine Atlanta, or deepen its divides. The truth is messy, the stakes are high, and by the end of this video, you'll see why what's happening here isn't just about one city. It's a blueprint for what's coming to yours. Keep watching. To understand why this project is so controversial, we have to start with a place called the Gulch. It sits right in the heart of downtown Atlanta. For years, it's been an empty, sunken space filled with cracked pavement and old rail lines. Most people didn't even know what it was. But long ago, this area was a major railway hub. Trains once moved in and out, powering Atlanta's growth. Over time, as rail travel declined, the Gulch was forgotten. It became a dead zone, even though it's surrounded by some of the city's biggest landmarks, like Mercedes-Benz Stadium and the CNN Center. City leaders saw this as a huge missed opportunity. This 50-acre gap in the middle of everything was wasting valuable space. So, they teamed up with a private developer to bring it back to life. That's how Centennial Yards was born. The goal? To turn this neglected patch of land into a brand new neighborhood, a place where people can live, work, eat, shop, and be entertained, all within walking distance. The plan is huge. Centennial Yards is a $5 billion redevelopment. It started construction in 2022 and will take years to complete. But some parts are already moving fast. Two key buildings, the Phoenix Hotel and a residential tower called the Mitchell, are scheduled to open in 2025. That timing isn't random. Atlanta is getting ready to host the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and the city wants this area to be ready before then. This isn't just about fixing up a forgotten space. It's about reshaping how Atlanta looks and feels. City leaders say Centennial Yards will finally connect downtown. Right now, Atlanta's core feels broken apart. Highways, parking lots, and disconnected streets make it hard to walk from one place to another. This project is supposed to change that. The developers are adding 12 new city blocks to create a more walkable and welcoming downtown. But what exactly is being built here? Let's break that down in the next section, because once you see what's planned, you'll realize this isn't just a facelift. It's a complete rebuild of one of the most important parts of Atlanta. Centennial Yards is not a small upgrade. It's a full-blown transformation. The developers are building more than 8 million square feet of space. That includes housing, offices, shops, restaurants, hotels, and even entertainment venues. Think of it as an entirely new neighborhood rising from the middle of Atlanta. Let's start with housing. Out of the total space, around 2.8 million square feet is for residential use. That means thousands of new apartments, aimed at bringing more people into the downtown core. The plan also includes 200 affordable units. But that number has already become a point of criticism, and we'll get to why in a moment. Now look at the business side. Around 4 million square feet is being used for offices, shops, restaurants, and hotels. The idea is to keep the area busy, not just during business hours, but around the clock. Developers say they want a mix of national chains and local businesses. Whether that will actually happen remains to be seen. One of the flashiest features is something called KM, a 3-story interactive sports experience that's supposed to attract crowds and media attention. Add to that nearly 900,000 square feet of retail and 1.7 million square feet of hotel and entertainment space, and you start to see how massive this really is. Office buildings are a key part too. The developers are betting that companies, big and small, will want modern space downtown. Co-working spots and high-end office towers are all part of the plan. If it works, it could bring jobs and energy to a part of the city that's often felt lifeless after hours. But the real challenge is connection. For years, downtown Atlanta has felt like a puzzle with missing pieces. Roads cut through neighborhoods. Public spaces don't link together. Centennial Yards promises to fix that. With 12 newly created blocks, the project hopes to connect major landmarks like Centennial Olympic Park, State Farm Arena, and Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Wide sidewalks, green space, and pedestrian-friendly streets are all part of the plan. The timing is also strategic. Atlanta knows the 2026 World Cup will bring a global spotlight. So, the goal is to have big pieces of this project, especially the hotel, housing, and entertainment zones, open by then. But full completion? That's expected closer to 2030. On paper, this project sounds like a dream. Jobs, housing, business, walkability, a whole new identity for downtown Atlanta. But beneath the big numbers and bold promises, there are serious concerns. The first issue? Affordable housing. Originally, the developer was supposed to build 61 affordable units in one of the towers, but instead they used a legal workaround. They paid the city a fee, roughly $8 million, instead of building the units. It's called an in lieu fee. Developers can choose to pay money instead of following certain rules. Now here's the problem. That $8 million was based on outdated numbers from 2017. Since then, construction costs have skyrocketed. Experts say that the fee paid is now only half of what it would actually cost to build those units today. Some estimates suggest the fee should have been closer to $12 million, or even more. This loophole frustrates many residents. They argue that if the city is giving away nearly $2 billion in public funding, it should demand more in return. The public subsidies include 20-year tax breaks and the right for the developer to keep sales tax revenue for 30 years. In return, the developer had agreed to set aside 20% of housing for lower-income families. But the opt-out clause changed everything. To be fair, the city did use that in lieu payment to start an affordable housing trust fund, which now supports other projects. And the developer paid an additional $33.5 million toward housing back in 2021. So it's not like nothing is being done. But critics say it's not enough. Not for the amount of public money at stake. There's also the parking issue. Thousands of spots will be lost because of the redevelopment, but the plan includes 6,000 new parking spaces to handle visitors, especially for sporting events. Still, the city wants people to use public transit more. That's easier said than done in a place where MARTA often isn't the first choice for suburban visitors. So, where does this leave us? Centennial Yards is ambitious. It could reshape downtown. It might make Atlanta more competitive, more connected, and more appealing. But it also raises tough questions. Is this the right use of billions in public funds? Are everyday Atlantans getting what they were promised? Or is this just another shiny deal that looks great on paper while leaving real people behind? The answers won't come tomorrow. It may take years or even decades to see if this project delivers on its promises. But one thing is clear. What's happening in Atlanta could set the tone for how other cities handle growth, money, and responsibility. So the next time someone says a new development will revitalize your city, ask yourself, who's it really for?